All right, everybody. Head coach Brad Brownell.
Man, Notre Dame played well tonight. They make 13 threes. It's going to be hard to beat them. I just thought we had a hard time when they got going early. Obviously, Wesley with 18 right away kind of set a tone, put us on our heels a little bit. I thought our front court did some good things. Ian, great to see him getting these minutes, his chance to start and play, and he's rebounding at a very high level. PJ got 19 again, which is good. Probably a few too many shots to get 19. He's got to be a little more efficient. But then we just weren't quite as good in the guard play in some situations. We just have to make, we need to make 8 out of those shots probably. We need to make 3 more threes in a game like this to give us a chance to take it to the wire. We just weren't able to apply enough game pressure to Notre Dame. And they're just playing really well. They're hard to guard. They move the ball, they share the ball, they cut really hard. They're older guys, so they don't get rattled. They're playing with a ton of confidence and a little bit. You can see a little bit of a chip on their shoulder with some guys that haven't been to the tournament in a couple of years, and highly touted group. And that's what you want with your team. I thought our team last year was similar with Clyde Trapp and Amir Sims, some guys that went as freshmen and hadn't been in a couple of years and then wanted to go back desperately as seniors. We had that feeling and that urgency and just experience to battle through things. And they're playing very good basketball. So a lot of credit to Coach Bray and his staff and the way those guys are playing. They played great tonight.
Brad, what was happening on some of those breakdowns on the defensive side? Was it miscommunication?
No, I mean, some of it's just great offense now. I mean, their pace of their cuts, and they've got good players, so they make good decisions with the ball. They've got good spacing. You're fighting to go over or under a ball screen, and it's challenging because there's 3-point shooting everywhere. So now all of a sudden, you're spread out and they're driving into the lane and making plays. Atkinson has led them in scoring maybe the last 3 games. And so they can do all their stuff. You guard them and then they throw it to Atkinson and you still got a handful because, what are you going to do? Go double him and give up more threes? So I think it was just a combination. We had a couple breakdowns. We had some mistakes on some things where we wanted to, handful of plays we needed to do better. It's hard. We didn't get to guard these guys live in practice. You're walking through and then all of a sudden it's like, dude, you're asking your guys, hey, game speed now. And it's, the guys are bigger and faster than our walk-ons. And trying to guard it, at game speed is challenging. And that's, I think that's where it comes at you so quick like it was, and it takes you a while to get your legs back on and realize, all right, wait a minute here. Here's what we're trying to do. Let's make sure we execute. And, there were certainly a couple of busted coverages and all that. And then Wesley, he banked one in, he was feeling pretty good. And then we just didn't quite play well enough.
Coach, you went with a smaller lineup. Nick's first start in a couple of weeks. He played 37 minutes. What made you feel like that gave you a better chance as opposed to starting Nas?
More guard play and ball handling and decision making and zone offense. We knew they were going to play a bunch of zone too. So just having a little more shooting and speed and ball handling out there. Plus, we knew that Nas was going to have to play a ton of minutes at the 4, and so you just kind of gotta. When you don't have David, it limits you, right? We only have 4 perimeter players now, and so those guys were kind of playing the 1, 2, 3. Just kind of interchanging all 4 of those guys there. And then the 3 other guys, for the most part, were playing the 2 big spots. Hard game maybe for Ben. They're just so spread out and it happens so fast. The way they play, I just didn't feel like this maybe was a game that was good for Ben right now. So just, sheer numbers, to be honest, no Hunter, no DC, you're kind of limited in what you got to do.
Coach, this would have been a tough week even if you had all your guys. But what do you feel about your guys coming through this week? Down 2 guys tonight, and you were still right there at the end.
Well, I'm proud of our guys. I do think, I thought we fought pretty hard. You're playing 3 of the best teams in the league The first game we got the lead with a minute to go. We got a chance to win. The second game, we battle for a half and we get it, the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half, we're hanging in there, and then Duke pulls away with, size and numbers, and they played well. And then, Notre Dame was ready. I thought they had a good plan, and we got punched in the mouth, and right away we're down double figures, and it's hard. You could have caved, but I thought our kids fought, and we battled back several times. But when they're making that many shots, they got to help you a little bit as the best team or one of the best teams in the league. They got to help you by missing shots and having a little bit of an off night. And they didn't have an off night. They had a good night. And so we couldn't sustain it long enough against their good play.
Brad, it's been a long time since you've been in this situation with injuries and
Yeah.
backslide on this side of the season. How do you kind of keep the guys focused and make sure they don't lose that?
Yeah, just, I'm honest with them. When I think we play well, we talk about it. And when I don't think that we're playing as well as we can, we talk about that. And, as much as anything, you try to be honest about their development and then remind them of the opportunity that they're in. When you're playing ACC basketball at a great school, in a program that we're proud of what we're doing. And so it's easy to get a little woe's me and feel sorry for yourself and get wrapped up in all that. But man, there's a lot of people who'd like to trade places with you, and you better be mindful of that. And I want guys that want to be a part of a team, and it's easy to have some discourse right now, but we're sticking in there. We're battling hard, and got another chance on Tuesday to try to bounce back and continue to play a little bit better.
Coach Ian, 9 rebounds in 20 minutes. He had a real nice low post move to start the second half.
Yeah.
How much is this extra playing time going to help his
It's
development?
going to help him a lot. I think we think he has a chance to be a good player. He needs experience, and he's getting it, which is the best part of Hunter Tyson's injury. There's going to be some learning curves there, right? And tonight he's out there trying to guard Dane Goodwin some, and he's mixed up with guards every once in a while. The other night he's guarding Paolo Banchero for 25 minutes. I mean, wow, that's two different animals. That's where that 4 position is really hard. You got to be able to do those things at this league. But it's great experience, and the one thing that has held up for him is his rebounding. He had 10 rebounds against Duke. He had 9 rebounds today. I mean, he's a rebounder. He's got great hands. He's got physical body. He can go up with 2. He's got good timing. That part is extremely encouraging.
Ray said that he was impressed with the crowd tonight, considering the 2 tough losses you guys just had. He said he was a little surprised to see it packed. And
yeah, it was great crowd. So proud of our fans and our students. They've been incredible this year. Unbelievably supportive. I hope people see that we're trying, that we're fighting, and our kids are, giving it what we got right now, and we're not playing great all the time. And we're a little overmanned at times. And, we got to do some things in recruiting to make sure that doesn't happen. Last year's team was deep. We had 11 guys. We were a little bit bigger. We were certainly more experienced, and we could absorb a few things. This year's team is not quite there. We've got more young players playing, got some more inexperienced players playing. And so it's new for them. And so we're getting our lip bloodied some, and that makes you better though. I mean, you need that. But for our fan base to stick with us, it's appreciated by our players, and it's appreciated by our coaches. And I can't thank them enough for sticking with us and hanging in there. And I hope they see kids that are really competing and trying, because I do think my guys are doing that.
In football, you get ejected in the first half. You don't get suspended the next game. How did David take the news about this suspension?
He took it fine. I think we all knew that, that was probably warranted. And, he's feels awful about it. I mean, we're all thankful that there wasn't a major injury. He feels bad because of what happened. It hasn't been easy for him, believe me. The social media and everything that goes with all of it. It's been hard. And then he let down his team. He let down us. We didn't have him the whole second half and part of the first half at Duke. We didn't have him at all tonight. And he's responsible for that. And, that's the biggest part of this. One of the biggest parts of my job is to get kids to understand how to be selfless and to sacrifice, and that the decisions you make affect more than yourself. And so, it hasn't been an easy couple of days for him. But, hopefully we've tried to use it as a teaching tool with our team. We've talked about it, and, we hope to grow from it.
Coach, what's the biggest thing you lose without Hunter Tyson? And is it a game by game thing about how you plug those holes?
Yeah, a little bit. First of all, he's our captain. So, you lose the most experienced player on your team and the guy who's echoing the coach's voice, like in the game, in the huddles. And he's trying right now, and he's around for practice, but it's not the same as being in practice. And I think just guys on the court looking to him when he's out there. So it's as much the ancillary things as it is just he's a 10-point or 11.6 rebound guy that plays 26 minutes a game for you. That part is, still really good. He's a stretch four, make threes. He's also a tough son of a gun. Like, people who've watched Clemson basketball have watched him battle centers and physical players in our league and hold his own in a lot of situations. So he brings a toughness element, an IQ element, a leadership element, and then also a guy who stretches it and makes threes. So that part is hard, and I feel awful for him because, he was having a really good season and excited to finish it. So, but it's part of basketball.
Any more questions for Coach?
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Good luck to your benefit
Yep.
Sunday.
Yep, that's right.
Coach, what are your plans to watch them?
I don't know yet.
Third time.